What if you could build advanced chatbots and conversational experiences without having to do complex and time-consuming architecture and programming work? Dialogflow CX is an exciting service from Google Cloud that allows you to do precisely that. Most things are pre-built into constructs for you on this powerful platform. If we look at the Dialogflow CX documentation, we can find important details like pricing for the service. Let's check out the pricing page. A key thing to note is that Dialogflow CX uses consumption-based pricing, so you don't have to pay for expensive licenses upfront. Instead, it's a simple per-request and usage-based input-output pricing model. You can even start for free with the trial credits. There are many powerful capabilities in Dialogflow CX. For example, you can easily integrate it with email platforms, Twilio for telephony and SMS, and more. Once you have the platform set up, adding these integrations is a breeze. My top recommendation when getting started is to use one of the pre-built agents. These provide a great launching point with pre-configured use cases for things like order management and account management, perfect for e-commerce chatbots. When setting up your agent, choose your desired Google Cloud region, but keep in mind you can't change your data storage location later. The two main sections in Dialogflow CX are the Build pane and the Manage pane. In the Build pane, you visually construct the conversation flows for your chatbot. These flows utilize the conversation elements and configurations you define over in the Manage pane. For example, let's explore entity types, as these are crucial building blocks representing the key topics and objects your chatbot will discuss with users. Looking at a pre-built order entity type, we see a list of example items the chatbot knows how to help customers with. You can easily customize this list by adding or removing entries and saving. You can even bulk import items from Google Cloud Storage to streamline setup. Next up are webhooks, which enable your chatbot to communicate with external services to retrieve or update information. For instance, a webhook could allow checking inventory levels or submitting an order to your system. Google Cloud Functions are handy for powering these webhook integrations. The Manage pane also contains options for testing, deployment, and connecting channels like phone numbers for voice or platforms like Twilio for SMS. Hopping back over to the Build pane, we see these elements coming together to form the actual conversation flows. Underneath the main default start flow are various subflows handling different parts of the conversation. The purchase flow is a prime example, representing the dialogue for a customer ordering an item. It references other flows like address collection to gather shipping information. Diving deeper, let's examine the nodes within these flows that aren't themselves subflows. Each node, also referred to as a page, represents a step in the conversation flow and contains a variety of configuration options. However, the most essential piece is the routes. Routes determine the logic and flow of the conversation by mapping user intents and parameter conditions to corresponding actions and transitions. For example, you could define a route that triggers when the user expresses the intent to add an item to their cart. The route could specify parameter conditions that must be met, like item type and quantity. If the conditions are fulfilled, the route executes actions like setting parameter values, displaying a response to the user, calling a webhook, and finally transitioning to the next appropriate page or subflow in the conversation. To illustrate, let's consider a simple example flow. Imagine you're a customer who has finished adding items to your cart. In the chatbot conversation, you indicate you're ready to check out. The system matches this to a checkout cart intent and follows the route to the cart checkout page. On that page, it might display a message confirming the checkout request and transition to a collect payment info subflow. This demonstrates how the pages and routes come together to form the overall flow graph. Although the naming conventions for pages and flows might not always be perfectly clear, just remember that pages are the individual steps and building blocks, while flows are the high-level modules containing related pages and subflows. After you've fleshed out your configurations in the Manage pane by defining intents with training phrases, entity types representing key conversation elements, and webhooks for external service integration, you'll utilize those assets to construct the actual conversation flows in the Build pane. With the core flow complete, it's time to test the agent. The beauty of using a pre-built agent is you can immediately test the full conversational experience as it provides a complete set of default flows. Simply open the default start flow, click the test button, and you can interact with your chatbot to validate that its behavior matches your design. Once you've refined and finalized your chatbot, Dialogflow CX offers flexible options to integrate it with your desired end-user channels. You can embed it in web and mobile apps, expose it through a voice interface, connect it to platforms like Twilio for SMS, and more. The Settings and Publish sections allow you to configure details like UI styling and hosting domains to perfect the deployment. And there you have it, a whirlwind tour of the core concepts and components that make up Dialogflow CX. While we've only scratched the surface of what's possible with this powerful conversational AI platform, hopefully this overview has given you a solid foundation to start exploring and building your own chatbots. We'll keep an eye on the comment section for any questions and want to thank you for watching. Please enjoy responsibly.